the United States has performed military operations in Venezuela.
Oil reserves off the coast of Venezuela are now at the center of escalating international concern.
Illegal? What's illegal about this? America's interests are on the line.
People always ask me, hey Nelson, how do I take my improv skills to the next level? And I tell them, stop spending thousands of dollars training and watching the pros in Chicago do it. Instead, watch the pros in the Pentagon do it. That's right, it's 2026. And if you want to see a textbook example of breaking borders with a yes and attitude, look no further than Venezuela. Lesson 1, getting the audience suggestion. Now, every great scene starts with a suggestion from the audience to establish the reality. Usually it's a haunted library, or spatula, or 100 bottles of baby oil, allegedly. But when the suggestion is Operation Absolute Resolve, you know that suggestion probably came from a very wealthy audience member based in Houston. A good improviser takes a bad suggestion and changes it to allow their team to do what they do best. Now, do you really think that the improvisers in the State Department didn't hear democracy or humanitarian aid? Of course they did. But they went with 300 billion barrels of proven oil reserves and didn't skip a beat. Lesson 2, the yes and of annexation. Previously, we learned a little bit about yes and. You never block your partner. When the oil major said, hey, we'd really like those nationalized assets back, the United States government didn't block them with a, no, that's illegal. That would be bad improv. Instead, they said, yes, those assets are yours, and we're going to redefine international law to mean whatever the guy with the aircraft carrier says it means. That's how you keep the scene moving, folks. Lesson 3, supporting your scene partner. In improv, your job is to make your partner look like a genius. A very stable genius. Support isn't just standing on the back line waiting for your turn. No, it's about gifting. You want to make sure that you give your partner exactly what they need to be the hero of the story before they even ask. For example, the US military are master gifters. They don't just invade, no. They do the boring work of establishing the who, the what, the where, as in who is in charge, what is happening, and where the protesters aren't allowed to stand. Lesson 4, the rule of threes. Now, if you want your scene or rebuilding project to really resonate with the people, you need to master the rule of threes. In improv, the first time you do something, it's a chance event. The second time you do it, it's a coincidence. The third time, this is where you blow their brains because it's a pattern. So in our scenario, let's do the chance event. Let's take a country like Venezuela. It's got oil, it's got a dictator, it's in our backyard. It's an obvious choice for a yes and exercise. Then we go in for the coincidence. While we're there, we say, hey, we're not just gonna stay in Caracas, no. We look at neighboring Guyana and say, yes, and since we're already here, wouldn't it be a mistake to not stabilize their offshore rigs too? You're telling your audience, we're in the extraction business now, and business is booming. Then we go for the pattern. At this point, we decide to take Greenland. It's the perfect example of the rule of threes. I hope you found this very informative. If you want to learn how to ignore the rules and yes and your way into a resource-rich nation, you could join the military-industrial complex, or you could just take my level 1 class. We'll teach you how to tell stories. The only difference is, our stories don't usually involve a 500-pound JDAM. I'm Nelson Velasquez. Hit the link in the bio to see our upcoming workshop, Satire as Resistance.